everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do 2016 album share part 2. So this will run from July to the end of December. And again, I'm using the navy blue for this year. And let's dive right in with this. That needs to get glued down better. Okay, so it starts with this layout of Jackson at the park one day. And this was a new park, and he was so excited to try it out, and he seems so little here, and I was so scared because it was a very tall play area, and it freaked me out, but he loved it, and with the help of Daddy he got to climb it up and go down the slide, and he just had so much fun. So we really enjoyed exploring the new park. This is from a scrap lift or a sketch. I can tell just by the angle of it that is where that is from. Some mixed media. Fussy cut out the clouds. Pretty fun. And then it goes into Canada Day, which is a couple layouts. The actual Canada Day itself would be in another album. I do have that separated, but there's enough here that you can tell this is from Canada Day. So this one is from one of my 30 Days of Sketches from my very first round of it. I absolutely love this photo of Jackson. It's one of my all-time favorites, and he just loves the beach. So this particular time that we went, it took a little while to get you wanting to play, but after a while you were loving it. So he really enjoys the beach. And then this is the one that was in the other album. Then I'm like, this is the wrong year. So this is the correct year. I now just have to find its home in this. And yes, while we were walking to see all the other attractions right off the beach, there's train tracks literally right next to the beach. And he was obsessed with trains here, like obsessed. And as it would pass, he'd be like, Daddy, look, train! And he was so excited. And this was his expression. He was just, he loved the train. So lots of fun there. This is a little like it almost looks 4th of July just because of the colors they're wearing. Sean was wearing blue that year, but we are in Canada. And then I use this little train and enjoy the ride to kind of, you know, showcase what we're talking about. And then this is Canada Day. This is one of the ones I created for it, so you can kind of see. And I love this. This was for a Studio Mom Scraps layout I did when I was on the design team, one of my first rounds. I kind of used all the fun photos. He hated it at first and then got better, but yeah, so lots of cuddles at first. It was a little rainy and cold at the beach this year, and you were not all too excited to be there at first, but after some cuddles and encouragement, you ended up having a fantastic time. So I love this layout. I think it's fun. I like these layers down here too. And then here's one. I remember creating this layout. I wanted to use up this Amy Tan pattern paper that I had, and so I just randomly put it all over, randomly traced some stars, and then figured out where my photo could go, a title, and then did my journaling just kind of throughout the page. So I really love that, and just talks about their relationship and how awesome it is that they have each other. This is definitely one of my favorite layouts. And then we talk about this. So this is for one of my obsessed videos I used to do with Caddy, and it was to do mixed media, I believe. It was to get messy or something. But what it is this is a bridge that I drive over because I work in a different city than where I live, and I get to cross this really pretty bridge, and there's beautiful breathtaking views, and it's really quiet on a Saturday morning when I go, which is what the journaling talks about. And it says, I have always had a bit of a longer drive to get to work, but never did I get to cross a bridge every day. This is by far my favorite part of the entire drive. The bridge itself is beautiful, but as I drive across it into Maple Ridge and see all the majestic mountains, it truly takes my breath away. There are also days when the fog is so thick you can hardly see anything. It feels like I am in a movie. All these small factors help make my drive into work every day worth it. I'm so very lucky to live in such a beautiful area in the Lower Mainland. So just kind of a little something about me. This used to be in the book about me, and they got transferred to here. Love that. And then this square pattern was really fun. I love this design actually. It's something I might do again. And then to celebrate my birthday, I turned 29 that year, and not a whole lot. I have no idea where the time went, but here I am in my last year as a woman in my 20s. My birthday this year consisted of working and then coming home to my boys. Sean surprised me with a teal Fitbit as my gift. Oh, that's right. I was so excited to get that too. It was fun. So there. So that one. Again, the triple kind of double border with the pattern paper in the background. And this is when we found out about Nora. So we found out about Nora in September, I believe. I think this is in the right spot. It's not. This should be here. That's okay though. In September, and we were surprised and excited all at the same time. And it says, Daddy and I were so excited to find out that we were expecting a new bundle into our lives. Daddy is hoping you are a girl. I just want you to be happy and healthy. April seems so far away, but I know it will be here in the blink of an eye. Until then, I am going to soak up every moment I get to carry you inside. We both couldn't be more thrilled to know you are the key to completing our family, which we thought, but then as you know, things changed. So this was for Spiegel Mom Scraps layout as well. I featured these fun sequins. And let's see here, what comes next? My very first layout documenting Jackson with being diagnosed. He wasn't officially diagnosed here. This is, he went to the hospital. He had a lump on his neck, a swollen lymph node, and he was just getting checked and verified that everything was fine, and the doctor that was verifying that mentioned to me, just threw it out there, that she thought he was autistic. And I came home and I was bawling my eyes out, and it was the way she did it was not, I don't think I've journaled that, the way she said it to me, I think it could have been handled better, but that's okay. But it was the start of our journey with that. So this is that. There's the puzzle piece with sunshine, like a, you know, a background there, and it's just kind of like, this is our start and all of that. So there's my first layout to document Jackson. You can tell I haven't done the journaling there. I'm still a little I just haven't been ready to write it, so I can talk about it now. I used to not even be able to talk about it, but now I'm just not ready to write it yet. And then here is one to document Sean and I, how when Sean and I say goodnight, or when we're leaving to go to work, whatever, we both just say, I love you. We don't ever add the word to that sentence. And so it's just kind of talking about that and how we don't know where it started, but it is. And I love how we take that moment to just really mean it and not add the word to. So it's just a random photo to kind of document it, and using that beautiful, beautiful line from Maggie Holmes. I loved that collection. And again, sequins, because, you know, you have to have sequins and everything. Here's one. I loved this one too. This one I wanted to use these little frames from Simple Stories. And then I had this fun photo. We used to go on lots and lots of family walks. And it was beautiful. Like the street over from us just was beautiful greenery when we walked. And so I happened to, there's Jackson off in the background and Sean, and just talking about that. So this summer we made it a family priority to go for an evening walk as often as possible. Sometimes we went to the park, and sometimes we just walked around the neighborhood. But that is how we spent our summer evenings a lot that year. I remember that very, I just do. But so there is some tissue paper, a little bit of layering and all of that. Again, it's still kind of flat. I don't start getting into my more bulkier layouts till later on, but mixed media. Here is definitely one of my favorite layouts. This is a scrap lift of Chamel, using some Chamel product and some Dear Lizzy product, and this was for a Spiegel Mom Scraps thing, and I documented Jackson. This was the announcement we put on Facebook that he was going to be a big brother, so love this. I really love this layout. It's fun to create. Chamel even commented on it. I think she actually posted it, like reposted it, which was super cool and exciting for me. So love, 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 love this. And I just did the title and then when the baby was arriving. And this is just, all this is a hole, like a punch that I then just took my scissors and cut in half to make those scallops really easy. And then I just layered them all on top of each other. And then it goes into that I was starting to show. I showed really early with Nora, obviously before, way earlier than I did with Jackson, and so I kind of documented how that was happening and I was showing at work. And then the little ultrasound photo. So there's that. This was using a sketch that we with Spiegelman Scraps that we were in I can't think of the word, collaborating with. So yes, I love this. Nothing on the back of that one. This end of the year is kind of sporadic. Here is another Spiegelman Scraps layout. I think I must not have been feeling very well because these are all Spiegelman Scraps layouts. So I must have just done my design team stuff and then let it be. So this is just because I love the photo so much, like my favorite session of our games that we went to. So remember at the very first album from last week, I talked about how we got to go to 5 games. It was kind of a fun thing for Sean and I to have a date night, and that's what this is talking about, featuring this fun flare that I just kind of put right in the middle. What it's covering up is the roof, that because you can open and close the roof, and that's just the top part of it. So I just put it there, nothing missing from it, and I love it. There I've tucked the stuff in the photo too, so a scenery photo where I feel like it's okay to cover things up, so really enjoy that. Frame, layers, journaling, sequins, everything I love on a layout, tissue paper. And then you can tell I was a little bit more into trying mixed media and a little bit more artistic maybe. I'm not really sure. I see a theme in the end of this year though. This one was just I got my boots and fall, and I love to document fall and I wanted to get some of this stuff used up, so again was trying to do a little bit of stash bashing. And it says, with the way I have been feeling lately due to the baby getting outside, enjoying my favorite time of year has been very rare, but before the leaves all left for the season, I was able to snap this photo with the start of baby bump. So that's my bump with Nora in there with the leaves and my boots and all that fun stuff. And waiting for March. So Nora was, her due date was April 8th, I believe, but by this time we knew that chances were she was going to be coming early because chances were I was going to be induced. I had gestational diabetes and I had done that out by this time. And she wasn't the easiest pregnancy ever. I was ready to be done. And so that's what this is talking about. There's a little flip through the tag here that just says, I can't wait until she's here, and I didn't know it was her, but can't wait till the baby's here and be done. So hello March dreams, and just documenting that I couldn't wait. I do believe this was for a mini series I did with Hannah and Megan and Caddy, where we were trying to find our mojo and get it back because we were all kind of lacking it just a little. Here's another Spiegelman Scraps layout about coffee. Everyone loves coffee. So Coffee Addict, my fun little cup, and a horrible photo of me, but that's okay. I fussy cut out these florals and then did a little squiggle with the tip of the bottle of the ink, the spray, and then I splattered sequins all the way around it on this fun black and white paper. I really do love the way this layout turned out. It was fun to create, and there are many, many, many layouts about coffee. I love coffee. And then here's another one of my all-time favorite layouts, and big long title, and then Jackson with Sean and the baby. Okay. So we have a little friend. Put your hand in. And so this is one of my all-time favorite layouts. Big long title. So my favorite part of being a mom is watching you become a dad and just documenting, you know, a layout about Sean. Again, with the fun patterns and kind of intermixed in there, a few sequins here and there. a few layers, some chipboard, pretty easy. This background paper made it so you didn't need a whole lot, and then the sparkly frame with a couple added bits kind of put it all together perfectly. And then you jump right into Christmas. So I took a lot of Christmas photos that year, if I remember correctly, and so I definitely have a lot to document. So this one, it was just sipping on my early morning cuppa while I'm enjoying the view of our Charlie Brown Christmas tree, pure perfection. So this is when we still had the little tiny tree, and I loved it. I created this for one of my 30 days of sketches, and I actually remember that Melissa also created using the same sketch. So that was when we both did a Christmas theme. And so I love this layout using that fun collection from Crate Paper. The end of this video is going to be very noisy, isn't it? Okay, and then here's this one where Sean and I got to go on a date to, it was called the Festival of Lights, and it was a fun date night for us. And this was part of the 12 Days of Christmas that Daisy and I did to start off our 12 days series that is going strong now. Sorry guys. Okay, she's out of the room. Jackson's in my room. So much fun. So anyways, we went to Vancouver and got to go see, and it was really fun. It was like this maze where you tried to find all the reindeer, and there's just lots of fun, pretty lights, and it was freezing cold, and it was a lot of walking, and I was exhausted by the time we got done. We had to walk all the way to not the SkyTrain that was closest to us, but like one farther away, and it was a long night, but it was lots of fun. So this was created though for 12 Days of Christmas. And there's another one. See lots of photos with the Christmas tree. This is for Spiegelmom Scraps, highlighting a sketch that Laura Rumble had created. And this was Christmas morning. And Jackson got a new bike and lots of fun presents. And so that's what this is talking about. But what it really is they were still sleeping, and I got to enjoy a cup of coffee before all the chaos of Christmas started. And then I really like this layout because of the title. So Santa definitely found our house. Jackson was very spoiled for that Christmas. It was just him, so he definitely got lots of fun presents. And it says, Santa definitely found our house this year. I was lucky enough to be the first one awake, so I spent a beautiful half hour sipping on coffee and enjoying the view before my guys woke up. So these two kind of go together. It kind of says the same thing. This is just an up close of me actually doing that, and this is the photo of all the presents and the tree all lit up. Love that. And then Christmas morning with Jackson opening his present. So this is another layout I created for the Obsessed series. He got a fun Paw Patrol gift and him with the tree. He got his Spider-Man bike, a big box, and a keyboard. And then it says Mommy, Daddy, and Jackson opening our gifts at Christmas. And we had cinnamon buns, and I made like a breaded croissant yummy like breakfast, so it was really fun. So this was documenting Christmas morning. I really love this layout. It's not a traditional Christmas layout, but I still really enjoy the way that it looks. And then, oh, I'm gonna get a lot of thumbs down on this one. Here is when we found out that Nora was a girl. So at the very end of the year, we found out that Nora was gonna be a girl. So documenting that. And I hand cut out the word adventure. So adventure awaits, or a new adventure awaits, which is what I put on the very first layout I created when we found out that she was going to arrive. But then when we found out she was actually a girl, I did it again. And then picking her name, we had a hard time choosing her name, so it was really nice once we finally figured it out. So I love to document this. This was also for Spiegelmom Scraps. I did some mixed media, stitched together this heart with little, there's again just a square you cut in half to make the triangles and shape it into a heart, and then sequins splattered all over the place. And then finally, getting ready for her room. So using the stencil that I loved so much in the very first album that I used for back in 2013 and 2014. I brought it back and I used it in here. I ordered this really beautiful dream catcher in purples and pinks and teals, and it hangs up in Nora's room and it's beautiful. So definitely documenting that as well. So fun. And there's a lot missing in 2016. You're going to notice that in the end of the next few shares. I create what I want when I want. I don't really worry about it being I file them away chronologically, but I don't care that I don't scrap them chronologically. So there's a lot missing, but I love this album. It's fun. It's definitely a progression of my style and where I was going. So that was really fun. And please forgive me for all the interruptions at the very end of this video. It happens when you've got little ones at home. And I will be back next week, hopefully with a lot less of an interrupted video with 2017 layouts.